Buenas noches. Hola. Another day packed full of absurdities and a couple of headaches. The other day when I was talking about one of the absurdities, I need to get myself an absurdity diary so I know which absurdities we focused on and which days. I said Eratosthenes. We're going to call him Ratos for this exercise. It's better than the whole. So Ratos. I said I debunked that. You know, the shadow, proving that it's a globe circumference. So because I said I debunked it, I'm obviously going to now follow up on what I said. Now, according to the current brains of Earth, of the spinning planet Earth, a few things that Ratos knew back in 200 and something BC. He had some good geometry knowledge. He knew Earth was round already. So one would presume that this shadow stuff was just like a backup, like just a last final nudge for him. Sun's rays parallel. The sun's rays are parallel. Now what's this? Is a new one for me. How can the sun's rays be parallel? How can anything that comes off of the sun be parallel? Surely the sun is round, so would it not be, I'm not going to do right together, but would it not be like that? If, for example, we went down to a measurement of 300 billionths of a millimeter, all right? So we're going to zoom in to the sun and we're here. This is 300 billionths of a millimeter. Even though we're right zoomed in, the photons, the invisible massless packets of invisible massless photons are going to be going like that, aren't they? Now, why would anything be parallel? It doesn't make any sense. If the sun was square, had square sides, and the photons were radiating off of something square, then they'd be parallel, wouldn't they? So look, I don't know. This is nothing, but it's something really weird. But how can the sun's rays run parallel if they're coming off of a circle? It's just one of those things, isn't it? I probably missed the memo for that one. So apparently he knew that sun's rays were parallel. How can photons be parallel? Run parallel. Now, on June the 21st, he's a knowledgeable chap, Ratos. He knew on June the 21st, summer solstice, the sun would be directly above a well in Syene. Syene, I think it's pronounced something like that, Syene. Now, at the very same time, so let's say midday, at the very same time as this is happening, in Alexandria, it's approximately 925 kilometers away. Anything that is vertical, stuck into the ground, like a flag post or whatever, there will be, the sun will be shining and it will create an angle, the shadow, right? So we have a well, so it's that, we've got it down here. So this is a well, it's an exaggerated well, and that well will be aiming towards the centre of the earth. So that is the sun. You know how sometimes they do the diagrams where the sun's up above and earth, you know, but this one, they've done the horizontal thing to suggest, you know what I mean? So we have the sun shining, we have parallel. We have packets of invisible, massless, parallel running photons, right? They hit the well and they go into the well. No shadows on the walls whatsoever. Ratos will put his head over the well, and how is he going to see shadows if his head's in the way of the sun that's above him? Debunked. It didn't happen, folks. Not really, not really. Shadow, nothing at all. The sun is directly above, right? The well. It's shining right down. No shadow on either of the wall, of any wall of the well. The sun is directly above. At the very same time as this is happening, 925 kilometers away, 5,000 stadia. Look, not really interested. It's whatever the 5,000 stadia is, it's approximately 5,000 stadia, which is more than could be said for Roma, because Roma didn't have kilometers or miles, but he still managed to somehow, it was kilometers per second, wasn't it? So Roma, that I'd say Ratos, was on the ball. Why didn't Roma use something like stadia? He jumped the gun and used kilometers, didn't he? Good on him, but still. And we have the well, sun shining straight down, and then 925 kilometers away, we have that post, right? Say it's a post. And it too is aiming for the center of the earth. Because one would presume that would be vertical, that would be vertical, that would be vertical, and so forth. And if you'll notice, when I do this vertical stuff, let's just say it shot off into space, and there was one there, and there was one there, and there was one there. Would they shoot off to space parallel to each other? No, they wouldn't. One would go woof, and the other woof, and the other woof. So I just have no idea. Sun's rays are, well, no, they don't. They just don't. They don't. They don't. I don't know why. I'm sure they just put stuff like this just to make it more stupid than it actually already is. So, now how would Ratos have known that 925 kilometers away, anything that was stuck into the ground, there was shadows? Did he live in Syene? What does a person do? This is 200 and something BC. The exact date doesn't really matter. What would you do? Ratos, come on, there's a stoning in town. Nah, I'm a bit busy. Busy doing what, Ratos? He's a paedophile. We're going to stone him to death. Oh, I'd love to, but I'm busy. I've got shadow work to do. Ratos, come on. No, I have shadow work to do. Greco, come here before you go for the stoning. Come here a second. What, Ratos? Do you remember when we went to Alexandria a couple of years ago on holiday? Yeah, I do, was nearly 3 weeks on horseback, wasn't it? I think it was, Gregor. Was it 3 weeks? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, it was a long way. Yeah, a long time. Anyway, listen, Gregor, do you remember when we were playing soccer with those kids? I do, Raos. Where are you going with this? Do you remember the goalposts of the goal? I was goalie. I do, Raos. Where are you going with this? Come here. Come here, Gregor. Look at the well. You see anything, Gregor? Is that sun right above the well, Raos? It is, Gregor. The goalposts at the very same time as it is now, is it? Down there? I think so, Gregor. So what are you saying, Raos? That the sun's shining in Alexandria right now at the very same time, because it was 3 weeks horseback? How do we know that it was? Are you sure it's right now at midday? Yeah, because we played soccer with the kids at their school lunch. That's right, it was midday, wasn't it? That angle, was it not about 7.2 degrees, Gregor? I think it was, Raos. I think it was. There was a 7.2 degree angle. I remember talking. It was fascinating, wasn't it? We wouldn't forget something like that holiday that we had, would we, Raos? No, Gregor. 7.2 degrees. And here, straight down. It's coming straight down. You know what, Gregor? What, Raos? Listen, I'm going to go to the stone and you tell me after, all right? All right. Bye. So, Raos was left on his own and he said to himself, 7.2 degrees. I'm here in Sahin and I'm seeing the sun. It's moved a bit now, but it was straight down that well, without even touching the sides, no shadows anywhere. And I know because we went on that holiday, because there's no trains or planes or automobiles, is there? It's 1,600 miles, horseback, a long way away. But even though it was a long way away, I do remember the goalposts and a shadow was being cast. And it was this time, I'm sure, because my watch, no, it didn't have. Anyway, now what would this mean? Earth. Round. Well, I was pretty sure it was round, but I think this is making my mind up now. Gregor! Oh, it's gone. Right, so, and that was the deal. So, the sun is shining right directly above the well. The well is pointing towards the centre of Earth. At the very same time as the sun is above the well, it is also shining on a flag or goalposts in Alexandria that's 925 kilometres away. Now, because of the angle, there is, see, there's the post and the sun shining, it's a parallel thing, right? But that's all irrelevant. What we care about is this angle here. The sun and the post. 7.2 degrees, right? Now, the sun is going straight down the well, straight line, right? And the post, straight line to the centre of Earth, that too is going to be 7.2 degrees, right? So this one isn't too difficult to work out, is it? So 7.2 degrees. Now, it proves that Earth is round, said Raos. And then I said, I've debunked it. It's not even a case of debunking, is it? I don't think it is. I really don't. forget about the parallel, the invisible massless packet running parallel to each other as they leave the sun. What we have here, ladies and gentlemen, is, I don't even know what to call it. The sun is shining. We're going to use the flat earth. Now, there's a nail in the centre of that flat earth, isn't there? I think Ratos would have gone for the stoning, stone the paedophile, and then come back and do his shadow work after. Right? What else would you be doing 200 and something BC? What would there be to do? I suppose it's obvious thing to do, this shadow work. It's like after in the 1700s they were all doing this light stuff and working out gravitational stuff and the planet stuff. It's funny, isn't it? Planet Earth. Just every now and again there's these spurts, these bursts of really intelligent people doing all this stuff, and then it dies off, and all the stuff that they've just found out, it doesn't get talked about for thousands, in this case, of years, or hundreds of years. There's this burst of intelligence, all these people everywhere, and then must be something in the water, and it just all goes quiet. What are the inventions? What happened to everybody? Where's everybody gone? All that stuff that they worked out, what are we going to do with it? And then it just pops up 300 years later. Oh, look, all that stuff that they did, that's handy. Oh, the James Webb Space Telescope, go up on that one. Now, what we have is that nail. We could say that could be the well. It doesn't need to be a well, does it? As long as the sunshine is raining down its invisible, massless, parallel running photons, as long as they're heading straight down. Now, I can't do it with a bulb because I call these bulbs and stuff lazy light. Lazy lights. The sun radiates its light like a laser, doesn't it? If you look at it, it's intense. It's not just this lazy photon ejector. So we're going to use a flashlight. Now, because of the angle it's suggested, right? So see that? If I come this side, it's a shadow. If I go the other side, shadow. I could do the whirly. If I go right on top of it, right? This could be like the well. Sun's on top of the well. If I stay right on top, that's the sun, right above the nail. Now, what we're going to do, just for the record, folks, this board is flat. Now, the sun is right over the middle nail. It's flat. That shadow on the other nail. Isn't that strange? This is so stupid. It only takes one extra step to show how stupid it really is. It doesn't prove that it's a globe, an angle, a 7.2 degrees. It means absolutely nothing. That's why I debunk this. Look, it's going to be a shadow. It's irrelevant whether it's a globe or not. Look. Go over to the other one. Right above the other one, there's a shadow on that one. Huh. It doesn't prove that Earth is round, that it's a spinning globe, hurtling through the vacuum. God knows how we're keeping the atmosphere, the lid on us, because it's a vacuum out there. You think everything would expel. They say gravity keeps that on top of us. More absurdities. I really do have to get myself an absurdity diary. A diary that is called Absurdities, because one can easily lose track. Now, what you just saw there, whether the little tiny invisible massless packets of invisible massless photons were running parallel to each other or not, doesn't mean it's a globe. It's the sun. There's shadows everywhere. If it's above one location, it's going to be sending shadows out. Doesn't mean it's a globe. This is the bit that worries me. Anyway, now, like I said, these little bursts of intelligence that this planet has, this spinning thing, boom! A couple of 100 years of all these people doing all of this stuff. Like Ratos and his lot, God knows what they did. The Greeks went through this little phase, didn't they? Bang, 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 bang. And then what? Where's everybody gone? All of this knowledge that we have, but it's good for nothing. We'll save it for the 20th century. They'll use it then. That's probably why everybody's accumulating all of this knowledge for a later date. Space travel, 1500s, 1600s. Perfect time to do it, in fact, wasn't it? It was a lull period. It was do all of that stuff, thinking for the future, hundreds of years down the line. Every reaction has an equal and opposite reaction. Good old Newton. It's irrelevant, we're not going to use that stuff now, but he sorted it for a couple of 100 years in the future. And he did, because it was used. Now, the other part of this, sorry about my facetious attitude, but this isn't science. It's a charade. It is said that because of the 7.2 degree angle and the 925 kilometers in between the post and the well at Syene, that he was able to work out the circumference of the spinning globe, which is, give or take 8 minutes and 20 seconds, 40,070 kilometers. Okay? That is alleged to be the circumference of Earth all the way around. Not this one. This is the flat Earth. What we're talking about is this thing here. The one that spins, but the water somehow manages to stay on. The one that spins and the one that we fly, but never seem to go underneath. We're always on top. It's almost as if it was flat, but it's a spinning globe, right? So the circumference is all the way around. The diameter is top to bottom or left to right, okay? So he was able to work out the circumference just with this little bit of information here. How did Ratos do it? So we only have a couple of numbers, 7.2 degrees and 925 kilometers in between. So we have a circle, don't we? So we have, there's enough room there, 360 degrees, we divide that 360 degrees by the 7.2 degrees. So handy that it was 7.2. It's perfect. The quick way, if you just came to these numbers and had no idea what we were talking about, you could just times that by 2 and you get 720. You've got 7.2. Divide it, you get 100. And then you half it again. So basically it's equals 50, okay? So 50. 50 what? There are 50, 7.2, 7.2. There are 50 of them in 360 degrees, okay? There are 50 7.2 degree increments in 360 degrees. We know that each one is 925 kilometers. So what we do, we have 50, so we multiply, what am I doing? Sorry, we multiply 925. I'll put it down here, right? And that will give us the total in kilometers. So what we have here, we could do the easy one, which is double that, make it 100. So that becomes 9,250. Now we have to half it again. This is just for the teachers who always say, show your workings out. Don't just hand your bloody papers in with the answers. Could be cheating. Oh, can you see that? If that ever happens and somebody at the back can't see, please put your hand up. So we've got 9,250. Look, you can't see. Right? So 360 divided by 7.2 equals 50. There are 50 7.2 degree increments in 360 degrees. We multiply that 50 by 925 kilometers in each of the 7.2 degree increments. And what we have is, I've just made that 100, right? Just to do this, because you go 50 times 925. So you do 100, it's 9,250. Then you just divide, it takes a second to do. So then you go to, so it's 4, carry the 1 over to the 6, and then we have 50, so you have 25, right? And we need a 0. And you get 46,250 kilometers. That's how we worked out the circumference. It's slightly over. It's no accident, because they absolutely love saying, and he was only out by just over 10%. And considering how long ago he was doing it and the conditions, and it had never been done before, it really was quite a good effort. It's just so corny. How could people not see this crap? So, he worked out the circumference. They're just numbers. It does not prove a thing. It does not prove that it's a spinning planet, followed by the moon, hanging on for dear life, all swinging and turning, as it is trying to creep away from us at a rate of 3 centimeters every year. We know this because of the reflectors that NASA left up there when they shot up there in 1969, when thrust in a vacuum was used. You know, Newton. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. That was one of the, what is it called? The scientific renaissance or something like that. There was one of these massive bursts of intelligence for a couple of 100 years, and then it all went quiet. Like, why? Where's everybody gone? All this information and knowledge we have. Anybody? No. All right, we'll just leave it on a shelf. Somebody will come by in the next 100, 200, 300 years. It will be useful for something. motions of the planets. I wonder what that's going to be used for. Why would anybody do that now? Anyway, so folks, I debunked it for you. It's not really a case of debunking, is it? It's more of a case of you look at it and go, yeah, okay. It's not science, is it really? The only thing it does prove is another obvious lie, very lame, but used to suggest that we're spinning on a round planet because of a shadow 925 kilometers away at the same time of day. Ratos should have asked El Greco if he could have used El Greco's mobile phone to ring somebody in Alexandria and ask them, guys, right now, midday, what are the posts and stuff, shadow-wise? We're doing shadow work up here in Syene, the sun. What are the shadows? Are there posts, trees? What's going on? Hang on. About 7.2 degrees here. What's going on up there? That's all right. I'm with Ratos doing shadow work. Right, bye, thank you. It's the stuff nobody thinks. There's anybody able to put themselves in the first person. Use a bit of empathy. Put yourself in Ratos' shoes and El Greco's shoes, or Roma's shoes for that matter. That cold night looking up at, waiting for Io to come out using a telescope that has just fallen off of a calendar. People believe the stupidest things, right? So that, Ratos, the circumference, proves that the planet is round, that it's a planet. No, it doesn't. It just proves how weak and lame the people who came up with this shit are. And just for the record, this is not just for entertainment purposes only. Send it to your leader, the one who's in charge of the spinning stuff. Tell him to pick his game up. So far, they're shit. Insult to people's intelligence is what it is. Look, I don't mean to get, but it's very, very testing sometimes. All this time that's being wasted with this rubbish. All right. I'm sure I just magnetic pole shifting. Did anybody else feel something? A little shift? Is it just me? All right. Buenas noches, folks. Buenas noches. It's been a long day. All right. So if I come across a bit short, hardly short of 5'10". All right. Buenas noches. Buenas noches.